Hey guys, it's Miss Christina with another piano tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to play Piano Man by Billy Joel. It's an easy piano version that I arranged, and it has the famous introduction that we all know and love, but it has a simplified left hand, so I hope you enjoy it. First I'm going to be playing it at a faster tempo, and then after that I'll be breaking it down into sections and showing you how to play it at a slower tempo. Okay, to start we're going to look at measures 1 through 4, which is the introduction. This is the part that everyone recognizes as Piano Man. The right hand plays E, C, E, G, C. That's outlining a C major chord. We call that an arpeggio because it's a broken chord. And you can use fingers 1, 2, 3, 5 to reach all the way up that chord. So E, C, E, G, C, F, measure 2, C, F, C, F. This is outlining an F major chord in arpeggio. So again, F, C, F, C, F. and measure 3 is G, C, G, C, G. Once again, C major chord, but a different version than measure 1. G, C, G, C, G. And the measure 4 is simply A, G, and then the second G is the first note of the verse, what Billy Joel sings. It's 9 o'clock. Okay, so once again, E, C, E, G, C, F, C, F, C, F, G, C, G, C, G, A, G, G. The rhythm is quarter note, eighth note, eighth note, eighth note, eighth note. The eighth notes are faster than the quarter notes, so you can think long, short, 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 long, or hold on the first one of each measure. Hold. And then on measure 4, these are all slow quarter notes, and so on. So that's the right hand. The left hand plays C, G in measure 1. We call that a fifth, an interval of a fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C and G together. Pinky stays on C. Move the thumb up 1 note. That's a sixth, and you've got C to A. Pinky still stays on C. This is measure 3. A seventh, C and B. So watch that progression again. Measure 1, measure 2, measure 3, and then measure 4. We simply walk down from F to E to D. So let's put that together very slowly. Hold. So that's measures 1 through 4. Notice if you print out the sheet music that all of the fingering for every single note for this introduction is written out for you. So follow those fingerings because that's the best way for you to get from that slow to if you do the right fingerings, you'll be able to get it fast with some practice. Okay, let's look at verse 1. So this is starting in measure 5. But the note before it, the last beat of measure 4, is actually part of the verse. Here's the downbeat of measure 5, 9. That's the end of the first phrase. So I ended with the left-hand chord in measure 12. Let's look at the left hand first. C to G, B to G, so thumb stays the same for 2 measures. Now we move A to E, G to E, so once again, thumb stays the same for 2 measures. We move again, F to C, E to C, notice once again, left hand stays the same for 2 measures. Now the next measure, which is measure 11, is different. So measure 11 is a broken D major chord, D, F sharp, A, and then measure 12 is a blocked G chord in second inversion. So it's a D, a G, and a B played together. So once again, measure 11 to 12 goes D, F sharp, A, D, G, B together. Now that cycle happens again. So it's good to practice that by itself, the left hand by itself first. Once again, we have a fifth, then a sixth in measure 5 and 6, and then we have a fifth and a sixth in measure 7 and 8, and then we have a fifth and a sixth in measure 9 and 10. So notice that pattern as I play through the left hand once more, starting with measure 5. Notice whatever the pinky's playing holds through the entire measure. Don't let go of it. Keep it held down. So by the end of the measure, you'll hear both notes holding together. And now D, F sharp, A, D, G, B. Good. Let's read on with just the left hand. This is measure 13, second phrase of the first verse. Same cycle. Fifth, then sixth, fifth, sixth. Thumb stays the same for 2 measures at a time. F, C. Now here's where we break the pattern. Notice measure 18, we get another fifth, but measure 17, F, C, to 18, G, D, is the same interval, we just move up a note. Now notice measure 19, we change the pattern here. It goes third, that's C and E together, sixth, C and A together. This is mimicking measure 2. Seventh, C and B together. This is mimicking measure 3. And notice now we're going to play the same thing we played in measure 4, the last part of the introduction. F, E, D, and then the next measure, measure 23, starts the cycle all over again. So it'll be familiar after that. So let's stick with the first page and get the right hand going. I'm going to start with measure 4, the end of the intro, going into verse 1, starting at measure 5. Finishes what the Billy Joel sings, and then goes on to play that piano interlude again. So this will feel like measure 2, and this will feel like measure 3. This will feel like measure 4 almost, except for the rhythm of the right hand, because we start the second part of the first verse. He says, "Son, that I'm on right now. The right hand changes slightly because the rhythm of the words is different, but I'm going to go on to measure 31, 30 going into 31, here we go. But it's sad. C and E, right hand. I just ended on measure 37, close. And notice that the left hand is the same as it was in the previous cycle. The right hand is just slightly different. Now we're going to get into a section that is totally different. So we're going to start with the section in measure 38, and this is the da 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 section, as I like to call it. We start with right hand only in arpeggio. So that's measure 38, E, G, C, use finger 1, finger 2, and then pinky finger 5 to reach that. And that is a C major chord broken up, an arpeggio in first inversion. Notice, we'll go right hand first this time. Notice the right hand in measure 39. Rest, rest. And we'll talk about this section in a moment. I just stopped on measure 47. So let's do that again. Measure 38, E, G, C. Measure 39, A, B, C, B, A. That's a tie, hold it. And then now on measure 43, we have rest, rest, B, C, B. This is a tie, hold it until you get to the A, G. Now this is measure 47, B, D. That's a broken G chord. So again, measure 47, G, B, D. Now we're going to have a series of thirds, and It starts with B and D, play 3 of them. This is measure 48. Go up a step, play 3 of them. Go up a step, play 3 of them. Now here we are in measure 51, and this is the next verse. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. So 51, we end up here on E and G. So we traveled from here to here to here to here in thirds, 3 of each pair. And then here we are at measure 51, sing us a song, and so on. Okay, so that'll be the next part, the verse. So let's go back to measure 39 and talk about the left hand. Left hand, you have a similar pattern, but it's different intervals, so watch carefully. A to C, that's a third. G to C, fourth. F sharp, black key, to C, that's a fifth, a diminished fifth. And then F to C, that's a perfect fifth. And then we do that cycle again, almost completely. Third, fourth, diminished fifth. And then instead of going to the F, this time we go D, E, F sharp, G, 2, 3, E, 2, 3, D, 2, 3. Now here I am at measure 51, and I've started the cycle again. The same cycle that we learned in measure 5. It's the same. So let's go back to 38 and put this together. 38 is right hand alone. Notice the left hand has a whole rest for the whole measure. Right hand holds. Right hand rests. Right hand holds. Left hand, D, E, together. G, B, D, third, 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 move up, move up. Here we are at the next verse. Left hand is exactly the same. Right hand is very similar, but it's up an octave from where you played it before. Measure 58, well, we're all in. So this should feel familiar if you've learned the first verse. Measure 65, left hand lands on a third, C and E. This is just like measure 19, and then goes to a sixth. Here we are mimicking measure 2 from the intro. Here we are mimicking measure 3 from the intro. And here we are mimicking measure 4 from the intro. Exactly the same. Now in measure 68, it says first ending, the bracket above it, and it has a repeat sign. And the word now, that's the beginning of the second cycle. So then you would go back to measure 5. So after 68, play measure 5. And you play until you get to 66 and 67 again. So we'll pretend we played it the second time. This time we're going to take the second ending. Here's 66, 67. Now skip over the measure with the 1 bracket over it. That's the first ending. We already did that. Now we're going to go to the second ending. So this is measure 69. It's the same, but now measure 70 it changes, because now we're going to get to the ending. But notice how similar this is to the intro. Same as measure 3. Now this is the same as measure 4. Here, I'll play measure 4 for you. Except now we add a C on top, and we want it to end instead of go into a verse, so it's slightly different. Left hand's the same, but right hand, watch. Third, A and C. Fourth, G and C. Fifth, F and C to sixth, E and C. And left hand just goes F, E, D, C like you did before. That's the same. Right hand, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. with pinky staying on C the whole time. So let's hear that again. This is measure 73, the very end. And RIT dot stands for an Italian word, ritardando, and that means to slow down. So let's hear from the second ending to the end up to tempo, so you can hear what the slow down should kind of go like. So this will be measure 69 to the end. Here we go. Slowing down. Right hand has a tie, so it just holds, and then left hand plays C, and then a lower C. Your very last note is also a C. And then they should come up together. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any song requests or suggestions, please leave them in the comments section. Thank you.